Hey, American history students, this is Dr. Fagan. I am going to be your instructor this semester, and I just wanted to make a quick video to orient you to what you can expect from the course. I wanted to just kind of walk you around, show you where you can find everything that you're going to need to be successful in the course. Once you log into our course from your main homepage, you're going to see the course homepage, and it looks like this. You can see that at the top of the screen, you have the standard navigation bar. This looks like every nav bar across GHC. So you can always use this to access your syllabus. If you want to go to an assessment section, maybe the assignments or the quizzes or the discussions, you can access that here. If you have communications, you can go to announcements, to the calendar. This course does have checklists to help keep you organized, so you can access those here or your email. Use that to help you kind of move around the sections of the course. But below the standard nav bar, you'll see a course resources section. And that is a list of the links in the sections that are most useful in this course. It includes the syllabus, the course schedule, the grading policies. So if I click on the course syllabus here, it's going to take me to, exactly as it sounds, the course syllabus. And I wanted to kind of walk you through that a little bit. I have the course syllabus loaded into Perusall so you can look at it and ask questions about it more directly, but it includes a lot of information about like why you're taking this history class, how to get in touch with me, what the required materials are. This course uses video lectures, and those video lectures are available in D2L for free. All of the video lectures also include transcripts, so you can read it if you prefer, you can watch it if you prefer. There are note-taking outlines to help keep you organized. It does include a link to an optional textbook. This is designed if you need extra help, like if something just isn't making sense to you from the video lecture, if you want to know more. Nothing in the course, nothing graded in the course is going to come from the textbook. You want to use the video lectures for that. Then you have the course learning objectives, what you're expected to learn, the career-ready competencies, how you're developing the kind of skills, soft skills that are going to be necessary for you to be successful in the workforce, attendance policy, and the grading scheme. So you'll see that there are a number of assignments in this course that you can use to earn points. There is no midterm, there's no final, there are no structured exams in this course. Instead, the big assignments in the course are the case studies. The course has 7 weeks worth of work. You're in week 1 right now, which is kind of the orientation and overview. There's no case study this week. But starting next week in week 2 and following through to week 7, there will be case studies each week, so 6 in total. You have to do 3 of them. How you choose those 3, entirely up to you. You can do the 3 you're most interested in. You can do one every other week to space it out. You can choose to skip a week where you're particularly busy, or you can do more than 3, and I'll just take the 3 highest grades. So you choose how you kind of want to approach that big assignment. Beyond the big assignment each week, you'll have quizzes every week and Perusall discussions. The course uses Perusall, not the discussion board, to talk about primary and secondary sources. So once you get the hang of that, you'll note that there are specific things that you need to do, and this grade is primarily effort-based. So case studies, quizzes, and Perusall discussions every week. At the end of the semester, you'll have a final reflection where you think back over the course and kind of how the assignments that you did helped you develop the historical thinking skills that we'll talk about in week 1. And then you'll have a very quick open note, open book, 10 question multiple choice quiz to kind of review the content, the most important content that you learned. Below that is an explanation of each of the each of the grade assignment types, so you know what to expect, and my late work policy. Then you have the course schedule. You'll see that the course is organized by weeks. Each week has a specific topic and is organized around a central historical question that we're trying to answer. These questions they never have one right answer. They're open to different interpretations and different arguments based on evidence, because we're going to be working on evidence-based argumentation in this class. So topic, central historical question, then you'll have a list of the graded assignments or the assessments that you have for that week. This week you have a quiz and a perusal discussion. Next week you have a quiz, a perusal discussion, and a case study if you choose to do one that week. And every other week moving down will be similar until you get to the final week, which includes that final reflection and the post-assessment quiz. You'll see the due dates for those assignments. Every assignment in this class is due on Sunday at 11:59 p.m., or every weekly assignment in this class is due on Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. The exception to that is going to be the reflection, just because of the nature of the end of the semester that's due at the end of the final exam period. You know your schedule, you know your obligations, so it's up to you how you want to space out the video lectures, the quizzes, the participation or the perusal discussion, and then the case study if you're doing it that week. As long as it's done by Sunday evening, it's fine with me. Below the schedule, you'll see the course-specific policies, including how you may and may not use generative AI. Be sure you read that carefully. And then an explanation of extra credit and a list of the readings in the class if you're interested. All right, so that's the syllabus. You can access this here. If you click on the course schedule, you'll see the material or the expectations for this course broken down week by week. So in week 1, there's a checklist of what you need to follow. These are the things that you need to do, and then how you'll be graded. Same for week 2. You need to complete the readings and resources, review the study guide, take the quiz, participate in the discussion, submit the case study, and keep that case study for your final reflection. And then the graded assignments for that week. So if you're ever confused about what you need to be doing on a particular week, you can go to the course schedule. Below that is the grading policy, including late work. This is the same thing that I just showed you in the syllabus. My contact information, and my Teams office link. If you want to meet with me by Teams, you can sign up for an appointment. In fact, if you want to meet with me at all outside of my office hours, you can sign up for an appointment, and this is where you can access me in the Teams office link. A link to the extra credit, some help with the case study. I know the case study approach is probably going to be unfamiliar to many of you. It's not as hard as it sounds, especially once you get the hang of it. So make sure that you watch the video on how to do the case study, read through the FAQs, look at the samples, and then if you have any questions, let me know. That will help you feel more confident going into it. Below the course resources, you'll see a link to the course content. If you click on that, it will take you to the content section of the course. Again, you'll notice that it's organized by weeks 1 through 8. If you open these links, you'll see basically each section of the week. This week, you're in the orientation week, so you need to do the class overview. So work your way from this welcome down all the way to the optional discussions if you have any questions and to introduce yourself to the course. Then you can move to the week 1 readings and resources. Every week will include a note-taking outline. This is designed to kind of help you keep organized. It doesn't have all of the notes that you need, but it does kind of have it structured so that you can stay on track. Then you'll have the videos. Remember I said that the course uses video lectures. The video lectures are always like this. They're loaded onto a page where all of the video lectures live. This is kind of my video textbook. It has a title. You have the video. Each video, I've indicated the length of the video. It's hosted on YouTube, so you can speed it up, slow it down, pause it, whatever works for you. But if you prefer to read, or if you want to read along with the video lecture, you can use the transcript. Then there are key terms that you should keep track of and guided viewing questions. So we have this for each of the video lectures. In week 1, there's an explanation of the case study that I said. What is the case study? This is the video that I told you about. So you want to watch that as an explanation of why we're doing the case studies, what exactly you need to do, some options for formatting, how you'll be graded, and some samples, some examples of successful case studies, and then an FAQ document. And then finally, each week, you'll see the graded assignments. This week, in week 1, you have a quiz and a perusal discussion. This course does use perusal, and if you've never used it before, there's an optional syllabus review assignment. You can open it up and then play around with it. Just kind of try to get used to it. You can highlight something, make comments, ask questions, respond to your classmates. This is just designed to help you get the hang of how to use that. And then you have the first graded one, which is this week 1 perusal assignment. You'll click here, read the instructions, make sure you don't skip over the instructions, and then open it. The instructions are here again, but then you can start moving through and making your comments. Notice that in week 1, you just have that one article. Starting in week 2, you're going to have several parts. It's going to have a video explaining the central historical question and what's at stake, an article, and then a primary source packet. So if I open this, you'll see that instead of there just being one part, there are 3 parts. Part 1 is the video. Part 2 is the secondary source article that gives you one perspective on the central historical question. And then part 3 are the primary sources. If we kind of read through the instructions, you'll notice that you are expected to watch the video to read and engage with part 2, making 3 comments on the part 2, the secondary source article, and making 4 comments on the primary source packet. That is what you'll do every week. All right, so we have in the week, the graded assignments, you're going to have the quiz and the perusal discussion. Starting next week, you'll see the exact format that you'll have weeks 2 through 7, an overview folder that includes week 2 at a glance, a checklist to make sure that you're doing everything you need to do, the note-taking outline, and the study guide to help you prepare for the quiz. Then you'll have the readings and resources, which are those video lectures, the primary sources, which are the same as what you saw in perusal, and then the graded assignments. Quiz, perusal discussion, case study. Week 3 is organized the same way. Week 4 is organized the same way. So you'll get the hang of how to kind of move through it. When you get down to week 8, it's a little bit different. You have a final reflection due, and I will have more information on how to complete that later in the semester. So you have, the course resources, the course content. Below that are the announcements. I post announcements a few times a week, so make sure that you get in the habit of checking them. They can help keep you on track. They can give you feedback on the assignments, kind of important things to remember about the topics, important things to keep you on track. So make sure that you're checking that on a regular basis. Over here is the content browser. This is just a different way of moving through the content. You'll see that it's very similar to what you saw with the content section. I like the content section better, but it's up to you. And then the calendar. This can help keep you on track, but do make sure that you're not just using the calendar. This is only for the assignments, and you'll need to move through the other folders in order to do well on the assignments. So I think that's it. Quick overview of the course. If you have questions, you can go to our discussion section. Like I said, I don't do graded discussions in this forum, but I do have options for you to ask overall questions or questions broken down by week. And this is a good place to do it because I check it fairly regularly, but you might also find that your classmates can answer it. So you could get an answer more quickly that way. I am looking forward to working with you this semester. If you do have questions, don't hesitate to ask, and I will see you in the content section.